Hi, everyone. I'm Jack. There is something we need to talk about, and this is the subject matter of reminders. Because do we really need new information? Or do we just need to be reminded of the things that we already know? Are we ever beyond being reminded of the fundamentals? Because even if there's a skill that I thought I was good at, I would still always appreciate when someone would remind me of some fundamentals. Because most of the time you get diminishing returns after the fundamentals. And when we constantly think that we have to make things new and exciting and different every time, then we just get shallow and try to cover all these surface level topics instead of going deep on one. But when you remind people, you realize that there are many ways to skin a cat and many different authentic flavors to describe the energy of what you are ultimately helping people with. Because at the end of the day, it is about connection. This is what people genuinely want. Anyways, words are just a mean to an end for people to access that. Like if you were to go to a networking event and you were to meet a bunch of people, think about this. You'd probably say the same things. The subject matter of each of those conversations would probably be very similar. And when I think about the conversations that I've had over the past weeks, many of the conversations are literally talking about the same subject. And I didn't realize that until now as I was recording the video. But why, Jack? Because it doesn't matter if you're saying the same thing, if you're like talking about the same subject. Because every time you have this different taste of anxiety or excitement or energy with which to describe something. Because it is not about the words and like the subject, but it is about the internal sense of connection. It is the love of being. When you're creating something or you're meditating and you're in concentration or deep work, you are being. You're in a sense of flow and peace and you're just creating naturally, or meditating, you're in a sense of deep concentration. Like Michael Phelps, this guy did the same thing over and over. Don't think, guys, too much, okay? Like, have fun, and when you're doing a thing, just do that thing. Do one thing at a time, and then it's okay to do the same thing over and over. Like there are basically three main subjects to life that I would say is like health, wealth, and relationships. So for this channel, for example, like I basically talk about the whole umbrella of a personal life experience. So I basically talk about health, wealth, and relationships because they all have this fundamental theme of self-actualization. So I talk about that, but maybe you're in a bit more of like a specific vein of content. For example, I used to make editing videos where I would share tutorials. So with this particular, thread, I would still repeat myself a bunch of times. Like I did a tutorial on how to do the same thing in the editing software like a dozen times. And then I've repeated it in future tutorials and knowing because even if you're an expert, we love to hear like the beginner side of things. And I used to think that I could not say the same thing. Like I had to be new and invent something new and different and spicy like every single time. But this actually gets in the way of helping people remember what actually matters. Like if you're going to learn Spanish, then why would you wake up and study French and then Russian and then Chinese and then Spanish? That wouldn't make any sense. You would want to study Spanish like over and over and probably like repeat the same thing. Because it is ultimately the joy of doing something with concentration. It is the joy of being and being in a focused state of flow. That is what you ultimately care about. So like when I'm recording my videos, I don't know what I'm going to say. And I've probably said the same thing. Like I think one of my titles was even the same. But it doesn't matter. Like I don't try to think about what I'm going to say. my primary focus is like, how can I be at a high energy and have fun and be excited to like talk about something? Because even when you're saying the same thing, it doesn't matter when it's the underlying energy that you ultimately care about. So like, who cares if you say the same? Who cares what you even say? Like, it's the energy. It's very attractive to be around someone who's high energy. And this is why someone can deliver a phenomenal speech, but if their energy is like mopey and down, you know, it wouldn't matter how good their speech is, obviously. So I think you guys get the point. And yes, I'm saying this, you can remind people, you can say the same thing like over and over, because you get diminishing returns after you cover the fundamentals. And sometimes I forget this because I say something in a conversation and I think to myself like, damn, that was kind of fire. Like maybe I can, you know, say that again. And then I have this limiting belief that's like, no, Jack, you got to be different every time. Like you can't say the same thing. But it's like, no, I'm going to say the same thing. And the benefit of that is that new people get to hear that as well. Like if you're creating any sort of content, you are having conversations, how do you expect new people to hear that epic phrase you just came up with if you don't repeat it? Like, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. You can repeat yourself because people do not need more information. They need reminders. And the best way to share reminders is through your energy. Thank you guys for watching. And if you want to connect with me, there is a link to the community that I run, and it is in the top of the description. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.